If you have paid any attention to the business world in the last few days, you probably have heard that Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard for a whopping $68 billion. So, what does this mean for you and me as casual gamers? Well, the deal cannot be completed until regulatory approval has been granted by the United States Federal Trade Commission. And even approval is granted, the deal is not expected to be complete until sometime in 2023. Microsoft, the world's second most valuable company by market capitalization right behind Apple, has announced that it will be buying Activision Blizzard with a whopping $67.8 billion. Activision Blizzard, maker of some of the most popular games in the global gaming history, include World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, Diablo, Overwatch, Candy Crush, and this could significantly change the current landscape of the global gaming companies. Microsoft, maker of Xbox and popular games such as Minecraft, Halo series, Gears of War. Basically, this means the world's fourth most profitable publicly traded gaming company is buying the sixth most profitable gaming company. And this will jump Microsoft from number 4 to number 3, right behind Sony and Tencent in terms of revenues. If this deal goes through, it is the biggest acquisition in the history by a wide margin. Previously, Mojang was Microsoft's largest acquisition to date, adding the widely successful sandbox game Minecraft to the Xbox family for $2.5 billion in 2014. And this time, Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard with a whopping $67.8 billion, 27 times the original purchase value of the previous acquisition. While you could argue Take-Two, maker of the popular GTA series, buying Zynga, maker of games such as Fun Valley, on social media game, for $12.7 billion was a wild acquisition. It is still no comparison to the whopping $68 billion proposed by Microsoft to buy Activision Blizzard. Well, the full impact of this acquisition is still to be examined. Like Disney buying Marvel and Lucasfilms, you can expect expansion around existing brands such as the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the expansion of the Star Wars storyline. Logically, we can expect such acquisition to result in, first, more franchises from the proven and expandable brands and storylines and IP, expansion of the Xbox console platform and expansion of its customer base, and potentially more adoption and promotion of the subscription model. Just like PlayStation Now and EA Play, Xbox also has Xbox Game Pass. La Microsoft is expected to promote heavily to the players of the Activision Blizzard games. It is worthy to note that in the business world, bigger companies buying out smaller competitors, such phenomenon is called consolidation of industries, where bigger companies start buying and merging with smaller companies, thus eliminating the competition for customers and fewer companies and available choices for them to choose from. And this will in turn raise the barrier to entry for smaller game publishers. Less distinct and unique niche games and genres, as the marketplace will be dominated by the giant players, especially the console owners like Sony and Microsoft in PlayStation and Xbox. On the other hand, from the perspective of Activision Blizzard, while such moves are always surprising when you sell the company to another competitor, there have been indicators why this decision makes sense. Firstly, the active user count has been steadily declining despite the pandemic and the general consensus that more people have more time on their hands to indulge on games-related activities, especially when you have improving technology and especially with the pandemic. So in 2018 Q1, Activision Blizzard has 38 million active users, but in 2021 Q1, despite the pandemic, it only has 27 million active users. What this means is Activision Blizzard has lost 11 million active users in the span of 3 years, despite the pandemic. And secondly, when considering the revenues generated by the various leading gaming companies, it is noteworthy to note that while net revenue generated by Activision Blizzard is still trending upwards, it is losing momentum from the leading trio of Sony, Tencent, Nintendo, and even Microsoft. Sony, the world's top gaming company by revenues, grew from $18.19 billion to $25.04 billion from 2019 to 2020, a whopping $6.85 billion increase. In comparison, the world's second biggest gaming company by revenues, Tencent from China, grew from $114.7 billion to $156.1 billion in the same period from 2019 to 2020, a whopping $41.4 billion increase. And while I cannot find related revenues for Microsoft for its gaming-related operations, on the other hand, Electronic Arts grew from $4,950 million to $5,537 million in the same period, a gain of $587 million year over year in terms of revenues. And then there is Activision Blizzard, gaining from 2019 to 2020, growing from $6,489 million to $8,086 million, a gain of almost $1,600 million during this period from 2019 to 2020. So you can see the leading pack of Sony, Tencent, and Nintendo are definitely outpacing the other gaming companies, and unfortunately, in the world of business, winner takes all. So it makes sense for the leadership team at Activision Blizzard to think of an exit strategy amidst unclear future and intensifying competition, as well as some internal scandals, especially when the popular Diablo development team leaders got booed by their own fans on the direction of the company in their BlizzCon in 2018, when the development team announced their plans to expand and focus only on the mobile markets in terms of Android and iOS.
Kind of been begging for in Diablo 3 in this. Is there any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this strictly mobile forever?
Are there any? The current plan is to be on mobile, both Android and iOS. We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC. Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
You can play on your tablet too.
One needs to remember that only dedicated fans attend such live events, and when you get booed at your own event, it is like a basketball team playing in their home court getting booed by their own fans. It is not a good sign. Additionally, Activision Blizzard has been under scrutiny for quite some time for suspected frat boy-related toxic culture. While the investigation is still to be concluded and to be publicized, what we know is that 37 employees have been fired and some 44 employees have been disciplined. And many investors, fans, and even employees have been urging Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick to resign, but it seems like he will be staying put despite the accusation. Some of the accusations center around constant sexual harassment, unequal pay between genders, and retaliation against whistleblowers. So there you have it. While the future of Activision Blizzard remains to be seen, if the deal goes through, then we can expect potentially more companies with huge cash stack on their hands will intensify the gaming industry with more acquisitions and mergers. Whether this will benefit us as casual gamers or not in the long run is still to be seen. After all, while I have watched some 20 Marvel superhero movies and shows, I still enjoy most of them. So if gaming companies keep publishing games that people love to play, then why not? So there you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you are interested in more content like this, you may also want to check out this and this video. See you in the next one.